Let's start now. We're moving right along. This is the 40th Mamer in Likutei Tora in Shir Hashirim. I believe we have like another maybe 2 Mamorim almost done. Okay, so and this Mamer is actually a biur. It's an explanation on the previous Mamer. Biur hadvarim, explaining the matter al posik al kol kvoid chupa. On the posik al kol kvoid chupa that we discussed before, on this posik, al kol kvoid is a chupa, as we said, that for every level of kavod, he's going to say the level of kavod, the kavod law, kavod hator, the kavod one is malchus, with Baruch Kvod Hashem Mimkoimai. We have Ayi Mikoim Kvoida, which is the level of Kavod Eloah, Chochma. And on top of both of these Kavod, there is the Chuppah, or the Kvod Kaluk, Kvod Chosen, there is the canopy with higher level. Hine, Kvod Tato, the lower level of Kavod, Hu Bechinas Malchus. That's the level of Malchus. So Kavod Tato is the level of Malchus. Benikra, and we also call it Kvod Hashem. We say Baruch Kvod Hashem Mimkoimai. We say that Baruch Kvod Hashem Mimkoimai. So that's called, the level of Malchus is called Kvod Hashem. Ki Havaya Hainu Ze'er, because Havaya, is small. And we'll see in the context that there is already a tzimtzum through the shem Havaya that comes down to Malchus. Avoid Havaya. So the kavod of Havaya, we say like Havaya is Ze'er Ampin, that would be the level of Ze'er. B'chlal we say the name Yud Kei Vav Kei is the way the Ein Sof is mitzumtzum already in the kelim in Atzilus. Atzilus is the shem Yud Kei. Yud is Chochma, Kei is Bina. So I think what he says here, we have to see a little further on, that is Ze'er, and Kvod Hashem is the Malchus of the Ze'er. Kvod Havaya Hu Bechinas Malchus. That's the level of Malchus. So what is the meaning when we say Baruch Kvod Havaya? Ubaruch Hainu Meloshin Beracha V'Shefa V'Hamshacha. So Baruch comes from the Lashon. Baruch means to draw. We teach Baruch as blessed, but Baruch also means like you graft or down. It's Beracha V'Shefa V'Hamshacha. It's bringing down and extending sheyumshach libchinas malchus kvoid havaya. That we're saying that the kvoid Hashem should come down to malchus, where mimkoimai, ainu chochmei from his place chochmei. Basically, to be mamshich from chochma to malchus. Asher bechinas malchus dvar havaya mekoimo v'shorsho mechochmei, that the level of malchus, which is dvar Hashem, malchus is dvar Hashem, so we're bringing down Baruch Kavod Hashem, bringing down the Kavod Hashem, the Chochma Ilah, Mekoimo v'shorsho mechochmei. So the Malchus, Dvar Hashem's place and the root comes from Chochmah Lo. As we say, Ki Abba Yosad Barato. Abba, father, which is the level of Chochmah, is Yosad, that founded, that's the basis for Brata, for the daughter, for Malchus. Malchus is the feminine, that's the daughter that has been founded by the Abba. So the Chochmah is the root of Malchus, the Dvar Hashem. The Abba who Nikra Koved Ilah. And Abba is the upper level of Koved. Mekoir HaSeichel, that is the source of the intellect, which is Chochmah, is the first source of the intellect, V'nikra, and that is called maskil. Maskil is the one that comes up with the idea, the one, not, that's the root of the seichel. And as we say, Kovod Chachomim Yincholu, that the sages inherit Kovod, the Kovod. So you see that the Kovod Ilah, that's the associated with the Chachomim. So he says, Kovod B'gematria Lamed Beis Nesivis Chochmah. Kovod equals 32. 32 is Kovod, which correspond to the 32 passageway of Chochmah. That's why we say there's 32 passageways of Chochmah, which equals Kovod. V'nikra Kovod shu b'chinas ziv yikore. And it's called Kovod. Why do we call it Kovod? Because shu b'chinas ziv yikore. That's a ray of his splendor. The Chochmah, level of Chochmah Atzilus, is a ray of Hashem's splendor. The Hainu, that is Kiborak Hamavrik, like a lightning that lightens, like a Bechinas his galus shalamayla min ha'asoga. That when you get a revelation which is higher than understanding, that's the level of Chochmah, as opposed to Mash'enkin Bina, as opposed to Bina, which is called Rechoivos Hanor, the widening of the river. So originally you have a stream that starts, that comes from the well. That's the limited. But when it comes into the river, Rechoivos Hanor, there's a widening. That's when it comes into the articulated in Bina, and level of Bina, when the idea comes into the find by being able to grasp in a wide way. So you have the level of Kavod, which is the higher level. Kavod Hashem mim koimoi. You have the upper from its place to be mamshich the Kavod Hashem. That's the level of Chochmah, the glory. Why is it Kavod Hashem? Because that's that level of splendor, that spark of an idea that comes from higher than Atzilus, that comes from Keser into Atzilus. That is the Kavod of the Chachomim. That's the 32 passive Chochmah, which is the lightning, which is the idea that should come down from Mim Koimoi, that it should come down to Malchus. You want that Baruch, that it should come down, the Kavod Hashem Mim Koimoi from Chochmah Ilah, and the Malchus comes from Chochmah Ilah. That means Baruch Kavod Hashem Mim Koimoi. So this is all in the spheres. Zo v'nukva hem beis hafochim. The level of Zeirampin, of the midos of Atzilus, and the level of Nukva, the level of the feminine, that's the Malchus, hem beis hafochim. They are two opposites. Kibchinas Malchus iker binyono min hagavuris. The main structure of Malchus is built from the level of Gevuris. Gevuris is that powerful, constant yearning and desire from Malchus wanting to go up to the higher level. Kori todir v'lo shochich, as I said before, Kori todir v'lo shochich, it's constantly calling. It doesn't rest. V'lo shochich, it doesn't stop. As the pasuk says, "Leman yizamercha choved v'lo yidei," so that you will sing for you covered without silence, continuously. Shukoso hakoil lemailo mailo. Her yearning is all for higher, higher. It is belahav hashamayma, in a flame to the sky. Kiteva ha'eish ha'oila lemailo, as is the nature of fire that goes up. Fire naturally goes up. That is the level of Malchus. On the other hand, Vizo, Hurubai Chasodim Kenoida. Zo is mostly majority of kindness. Shezohu Misoifa Elamais Ha'ein Sof. The level of Zeir Ampin is from the end of the Elamais Ein Sof. All of the worlds of Ein Sof, even higher than Atzilus, the end is Zeir Ampin of Atzilus. Shu b'chinas hashpoas ha'maitzil ha'elyen b'mido u'gevul l'mokar debiyah hi ha'malchus. And that is the level. Zo gives the flow of the supreme maitzil in a measured way, in a measured level, to the source of Biyah, which is Malchus. Malchus is the source of Bri Yitzir Asiya. Zo is the masculine, is the hamshocha that comes in a limited way into Malchus. And you need Zo to minimize, to restrict the flow from the Ein Sof to Malchus, the source of Biyah, so that there should be a limited creation. That Biyah should be limited. Why is it limited? He says, "Bichdei liyos hishavus hanivra mugbal b'mido gvul," so that there should be a created being, limited in a measure and a limit. We need the restrictive of Zo to bring down to Malchus only a restricted amount, so that there can be a created creation that is limited by measure and limits. Even if you take somebody, a human being like Avraham, or an angel like Michael, which are of the highest levels, or similarly, which are neshamas u'malochim hayeser gedolim, those are souls and angels that are very great, and yet hasogosum mugbelis, their perceiving is limited. They can only grasp until this point more. So, v'lochein gam hashpo hanishpas min ha'maitzil ha'elyoin, also the flow that comes from the supreme maitzil, lachayosom, to vitalize them, muchrachas lihisamtzem b'mido ugavul, is forced to be restricted in a measure and a limit. V'hainu al yidei hamidos chagas. That is the midos of chesed, gvura, tiferes of atzilus, the zod atzilus. So how does it happen through chagas? Chesed u bechinas ha'is pashtus. Chesed is the level of expansion. U gevura hu bechinas koyach hatzimtzum. And gevura, that's the power of restriction. V'tiferes hu ha'memutza machri b'neihem. And tiferes is the intermediary, that the sides between them. So that's why that's the level of Zoh. Zoh is mainly chasodim. It also has the restriction. Malchus is mainly gevuras. Binyan Malchus, it constantly, like fire, wants to go up. Umekola, now move on. So from all the above is understood. Shazov and Nukva him beis hofchim. That Zoh and Nukva are two opposites. Ulezoh is b'chdei sheyu yicholim lischaber yachad. And therefore, in order for them to be able to connect together, so that there will be the level, the union of Zoh and Nukva, to bring Zoh and Nukva together. That's why we have the level of Chupa. But in the end, the idea is the Tiferes, the Ema, Nase Keser Lezov Nukva, that the level of Tiferes in Bina, of Ema of the mother, Tiferes of Bina, becomes a Keser for both, for Zohir Ampin and Nukva. Ein Shom Beparshas Truma B'Divra Maschil Biur Li'inyan Hakruvim B'Keser Echad L'Shneim. Over there it brings down, there is one crown for both of them. V'ayin B'Geres Haramaz Simen Chov Zayin. V'hu HaMechaber Oisam. That Keser that comes from Tiferes the Ema, that connects Zohar Nukva. U'Ke'inyan Sh'Omru Razal Al Posik. Oisa Sholem Chulu is similar to what our sages of blessed memory say in the verse. Oisa Sholem Chulu. So they say that the Eibishter makes peace ben sar shel mayim or ben sar shel eish, which it says over there, shal yidei his galus dover hagavoya me'erech shneim, by revealing an item which is higher than both of them, shu HaKadosh Baruch Atzmai ubechvoidoi, which is Hashem in Himself and His glory. That's the way they connect. That's explained over there by the Sar Shel Mayim and the Sar Shel Eish, that by Oisa Sholem, that the Eibishter on the higher level from both of them brings about their peace. Okay, Moikein al yidei his galus bechinas tiferes the ema. Through the revelation of the level of tiferes of ema, shohu bechinas keser umakiv, which is a keser in a surrounding lezov and nukva. Al yidei zeh heim mischabrim yachad. That's how they connect together. V'ay mashakosu b'yirgeres hakodesh divrei hamaschil. One more paragraph here. So let's understand what is this idea that Keser that we say is the Tiferes of Bina. And how is that? That is the Keser from Zoh and Malchus, which are inherently opposites, and Tiferes the Ema is what is the Keser that unites them. Just like we have open emotions, which are resting in the heart, and those are Ava, Yira, V'Hatiferes Chulu. We have Hisparis Chulu. You have in your heart, there's love, there is fear, and there's also a level of bragging, Hisparis. All emotions in the heart. So just like they're in the heart, there's also these emotions are also in the hasharoshim v'hamikodim l'midah shebelev. They are the roots and they are the source for the emotion of the heart. You also have intellectually those love and fear and hispirus in the intellect. As we see practically, how it is good and it is delightful. So intellectually in his mind was aroused a love to that item, even before that love came and extended in the heart, to want and yearn it in actuality. So there is the intellectual love. The Hashem, same thing is in the service of Hashem. That love, intellect, always there through reflection. As opposed to the love that it should come down, revealed in the heart, it's based on the time and place. Over there he says the inyan ayin rabosi heimamidas shebeseichel. The ayin, which is 70, which shows a large ayin, that refers to the 7. The midas are 7, and the way the midas are in the intellect, that makes it a large ayin. So also above there is the level of midas in the moichin of Avim Chochma Bina. You also have there Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Yisrael, which are midas, and yet they're included in the moichin. Shehem hasharashiyim, the midas dezah. They become the roots for the midas which are in Zoh, revealed in Zoh, Chesed, the Ema. So you have like this, the Chesed, the Ema, the level of Chesed which is in Bina, Hushayda Shemokir, the Chesed, the Zochul. And V'Tiferes, the Ema, Shehu Klolus Hamidis, the Ema. And Tiferes, the Ema, and that is the general midas of Ema, because why? That's the general Ema. Why? Shehu Klolus Hamidis, the Ema, Tiferes, Ukolum Chesed, Gvura, because Tiferes is included from both Chesed and Gvura, Kidum Yin Hagabnim, as known from the matter of the color. So, anyways, Tiferes of Ema, which is in the intellect, that's the midas of the intellect. That is the root and the source for the general midas of Zoh. And that's Lekach. That explains Tiferes the Ema Nase Keser Umakiv Lezov and Nukva. That's why the Tiferes of Ema becomes the Keser and the surrounding to Zoh and Nukva, because that's the in the intellect, the general emotions, the way they're in the intellect, in the level of Tiferes of Bina, and that is what connects it. Okay, let's leave it